Hi everyone. So in this is the second video of the series of IGCSE course, and in this video we are going to be talking about the difference between economic goods and free goods. So this is one of the basic classifications and the most basic way of categorization of goods, in which the first category is economic goods and the second category is free goods. So remember this thing that if we talk about economic goods, we need to understand that these are the goods and services that require scarce resources to produce. अब resources क्या होती हैं? That are your factors of production. So economic goods require the factors of production to produce, and since the factors of production are scarce, the amount of economic goods that you can produce is also limited. In addition to that, there is a limited supply of these goods compared to the demand in the market, as we talked just now, that these goods, since they require scarce resources to produce, we can only produce a limited amount of economic goods. So the goods are limited in supply. So that means if there is an economic good and if someone wants it, there will always be someone who does not get that good. So economic goods are not available to everyone, only to those people who can afford them, or someone else pays on their behalf. In addition to that, there is a presence of opportunity cost in production and consumption. So these goods have an opportunity cost, because if we are producing one economic good, we cannot produce another economic good, because that would require us to use the same resources elsewhere, and we can use resources at one place at a certain time only. In addition to that, uh, a price is also charged for these goods charged for these goods. And what it basically means is that obviously, since everyone cannot get it, and since they're limited in supply, they are more valuable, and therefore a price is charged for this goods in a market. When we're talking about a place where buyers and sellers meet, someone produces these goods and then sells it to the consumers, or the customers. So these are the basic characteristics of economic goods, and examples are all consumer durables and non-durables. Consumer durables and non-durables are basically the consumer goods, such as your cars, electronics, healthcare, and etc. So all of these examples are examples of economic goods. So all the goods and services that are out there, uh, the consumer goods that are out there, they require some resources to produce, and therefore these goods include cars, electronics, and healthcare, and etc. On the contrary, if we talk about free goods, we need to understand a few characteristics. These are opposite of what economic goods are. Remember this thing, that these goods are abundant in supply, and these are basically the gifts of nature. These are goods and services, goods, basically those goods which are present there by nature, and we don't have to produce those goods. And those goods, one of the examples is the sunlight that we get. Another example can be air. Another example can be water out there in the ocean. So that is abundant in supply, and these are basically gifts of nature. And since they're abundant in supply, they do not require any resources to produce. And since they do not require any resources to produce, there is no opportunity cost of production and consumption, right? So that basically means that anyone can consume these goods. These goods are and anyone can there is no opportunity cost that is involved in the market. And since no one is producing these goods, and since there is no opportunity cost, or a cost of producing these goods, there is no price charged for these goods. Now you guys might be wondering that we need to pay for bottled water. Now bottled water and a water that is out there in the lakes and oceans are two different goods. Bottled water is classified as an economic good, whereas if we talk about the water that is in the oceans or lakes, that is in that's a free good. Now, bottled water is an economic good because there is a production process that's involved in producing that. Mineralization hoti hai. Apart from that, there is labor that package that water. There is capital that is employed to produce that good. So eventually, what happens is that since that is requiring resources to produce it, and bottled water is limited in supply, therefore it is an economic good. So now moving forward, if we talk about the examples, they are air, sunlight, and seawater. Right, so these are the basic example of economic goods and free goods. I hope now the concept of the difference between economic goods and free goods is clear. See you inshallah in the next video.